High heels versus Volk. 4-man team over in team 2. Hopefully they'll get the 5th sometime at some point tonight. Gonna be Fear onto High as Volk with just chill pills on his Shadow Priest back in. I want to see how this is going to go, because last time Chip actually was winning a lot of the Priest versus Priest duels. High heels, trying to see if he can go for healing, but the Siphon is not really letting him do much. They're just going to be dispersed, still under a ton of pressure, unable to really do a lot of healing. Tentacles attacking him from every direction, but at least using the disperse with freedom of movement to try to see if he can escape behind the pillar. Quick silence on Volk, though, trying to go for a little bit of flash heals here, and there's Volk. Needs to find himself a much better angle versus High. Does get himself insanity. Mind games, unless you can fade it, it's going to be a little bit rough. Does get hit with a Siphon on Volk this time around, trying to keep the pressure on, and as a void eruption crashes in every direction, stun onto High, and Volk just looking to avoid every single one of these bolts as best as humanly possible while maintaining himself as high as he can. The man's got a lot of defenses still ready to go. Whatever insanities he can get with this Flays onto high heels is also pretty perfect. Stun around with a trinket for Volk, trying to go for Mind Games. Fade does not connect. Gonna be Void Charm, but it's actually a lot of damage. Reverse that actually heals Volk instead. Trying to go for heal, but a flash heal. Oh! The flash heal. Mind Games has a damage and a healing component. You really aren't able to do a lot of damage or healing. They're separate though. So like if you damage, you heal them. You heal yourself, you hurt yourself. And since they're separate values, you actually can do a lot of damage to yourself while also healing the other guy very quickly. Volk taking a full kidney shot, trying to see if he can fade the Envenom at the last second. Trinket out of Bad Bunny, does get a stun. Volk is taking a lot of that dot damage right now from the poisons of the Rogue together with all the bleeds all at once. Shadow Crash just to keep the pressure onto the Rogue, at least able to keep some kind of a damage on him over time, as Volk looking to give himself a little bit of flash heals, a little bit of recovery. Definitely needs to go for like a good setup versus the Rogue, like a Fear, Siphon, big burst combo, anything you can get your hands on. If you can do that, you'll be golden. Gotta get a trinket out of the Rogue. Well, no trinket. Cloak of Shadows. Basically the same thing for a priest at this point, really. Can you shot him to Volk? Full Death Shock him. That is not Death Shock him. Keep confusing him with Death Shock him. Death Mark out of the Assassin as he does go in for a Cloak of Shadows also. That's an offensive and a defensive getting sent in as Volk trying to see if he can go for a reposition without Void Elf. Rachel got himself a little bit of healing. We'll need to be looking at potentially a Desperate Prayer, Fear into the Rogue, Vamp Touch, Void Eruption, potentially big damage possibly out of this one. Mind Control, just trying to see if he can establish a little bit of extra CC. Maybe waiting for it. Maybe try to see if we get a stun right after that one. It is going to be vanished out of the Rogue with a Garrote into Volk that was able to live a lot of the Death Mark damage with a full burst. Interrupt not available for the Rogue. Actually just doesn't even send it. I think Volk tried to see if he could juke it. Full dots on the side. Tentacle are still on Bad Buddy. Still taking lots of damage over time right now. Sippy Cup should help him stabilize a little bit, but Shadow Crest is not going to feel that good whatsoever. Fading the Garrote, trying to immune it. It's going to be Juke Kick. Perfect opportunity for just to end the duel right now with a Shadow Word Death. Oh my goodness, the Shadow Word Death just collapses the Rogue onto the ground. Well done. With, I think it's going to be Varka up next, right? Silence of Varka, full Void Torrent onto Varka. Man's just gonna have to bubble that immediately. Volk got himself a fantastic go versus the Paladin. As the Paladin just going in for a big crusade, big hammer onto Volk's head, fading for just a second. Might be a dispersed situation. If you can maybe somehow fear the guy and get yourself a bit of a setup, got yourself a random tentacle into Varka, trying to go for full recovery with eruption. That's gonna be hammer hitting on your head, but at least you got yourself full immunity. Siphon onto Varka, shield of it is gonna do a bit of damage, set into a full disperser to try to keep himself afloat as best as possible. Only 20% dampening fear right after. Varka does have himself a Blessing of Spell Warning coming up very, very soon. If you can somehow break right through it very quickly, got himself laying hands, won't have the Spell Warning, looking for a big Void Torrent. This is going to be an opportunity. Does get the execute. Oh my goodness. Volk, my guy, and Short Deadly doesn't even want to give you a second to recover. Leaping right in as you still got PI available. It's going to have at least Shadow Word, Power Word Life to at least heal you. It is going to be Juked Interrupt, trying to go flash heals, may not be enough, trying to see if he can heal through it. It is so rough. None of this healing is even doing anything right now. Fear, but he does break out of it with a Zerkers. Shadow Crash, nothing he can do. Short Deadly goes in for the jugular. My goodness. Are you kidding me? Stun onto Short and Deadly as the Paladin trying to see if he can blast out Short. Gonna be a Trinket leaping away. Full Crusade is available. Paladin's got himself lots of damage ramped up, ready to go. Wants to stay, but the pillars are actually perfect length for Short to be able to avoid the guy entirely. Is gonna try to see if he can hit him with a Stormbolt. If you have a Reflect for the next stun, trying to see if he can bait it. Potentially, he's not gonna be able to do it. That is a full bleed on the stone though. The man may be looking at immunity right now. Blind, he needs a heal. Lay on hands, that's a forbearance. If Short and Deadly can commit the damage, stay on the Paladin the entire time, not let him go anywhere. He doesn't have an immunity to break out. That blade is still rolling on him for a good bit. Lay on hands help him survive and recover a little, but still under a ton of pressure. Cannot stabilize easily unless he gets, well, maybe a stun or a blind or anything. Those flashlight heals not doing anything at all though. Into an execute back to back, taking him out. My goodness. With the Rain gonna be up next, a Short is gonna have to find a way to, I guess, fight through the 2 on team 2. I do wish we had a 5th. I do wanna know what happened. Wait a second, he is changing strategy. It looked like he was just gonna stay on the Hunter, but look at the pet damage right now. Pets, one dies down. Fear quickly onto Ring before he can summon a fresh new one. Then it's gonna be a Warbreaker. That second Fear pet just ends up fading. That's gonna be, what is this Raven? Stun instead. I think it's his companion, right? It's a random companion following it. He's gonna have to go for a turtle together with a fresh new pet. That is super unfortunate. Big defensive, having to commit it just to resummon your pet back up. Reflect up for Short in case there is a trap. It's gonna be full bleeds. His Ring goes in for full death shock. A perfect opportunity for him to make some damage happen. Parry up for the warrior though. The pets is still able to get behind the warrior to make sure their attacks don't get parried. There's still actually quite a bit of damage taken for the warrior right now. If you can keep the pressure rolling in, keep the bleeds. He's got nothing left. Oh, big kill shot at the end. My goodness, give this man an opportunity to get himself a camo. Ring is just trying to see if he can get out. Does he know the Demonic is going to be up next? Does he know this? If Demonic gives you an opportunity to get an actual like reset and like a honor duel, I'm not against it if you go for a full camo or something. Does get himself a camo at the very least. Demonic is going to be out and about. Actually going to let the Hunter get a full reset. Stun onto the Rogue after the Hunter was given an opportunity to get a full reset. Even the Hunter got himself an opener. As Demonic felt, you know what? I could take it. Mad eviscerates. Big secret technique. Ring left with not a lot of health. Does not have a turtle for this one anymore. I think it's just over, right? Does summon up the pets last second, but Demonic just needed a couple more strikes back to back to back. There really isn't much he needed left there. Blind on Chicago immediately. He is switching over to Sub-Rogue this time compared to playing Outlaw, but he did win as Outlaw last time versus the Shaman. It was really, really close, but I wonder if this is going to be easier as Sub this time around, yeah? I think it might be. Knockback to the Rogue as he goes in for a kill shot. Secret technique of Chicago ripping through the Shaman, not forcing a trinket out of Chicago just yet. Lasso and needs to look for themselves to recover health as much as possible. Oh, Psychotic is back in. That's the guy we were missing. Hey, welcome, welcome. So we do have a 5th over for the team 2. Demoniac made to space his cooldowns out to fight Chicago and Psychotic. This is going to be full Guardian available for Chicago, trying to see if he can leverage his damage in order to catch up a little bit of healing. Chicago's still getting quite a lot of healing. The knockback to the Rogue. Secret technique goes through. Does go for a trick and burrow last second. Has himself a wall. Sunder as well. Tricking for Demoniac. Does go in for the kill at the very, very end. Well done. That was a lot of damage for the both of them, actually. Could have been anyone's game. That's Sunder with a knock-up. That was close. Honestly, it was really close. I think Chicago, if it wasn't super high dampening, like 58% dampening, 11-minute game, right? I think that might have been a whole nother story. But the amount of healing you can do is very, very, very limited. Plus, the Rogue still has a cheat Death Cloak of Shadows for all those portals. The Psychotic trying to establish some sort of an early pressure every single one of those gates. Missing Chaos Bolts flying, but is missing past the Rogue with advantage for after. Does not have any more escapes, but I don't think he has any dots or anything. Psychotic does end up sending in an Infernal too, which is unfortunate. Demoniac does go behind the pillar. Succubus catching him very quickly. Is going to be able to get at least some kind of damage, waiting for an interrupt in case he needs to. Does go for the kick, but now he's kind of out in the open with the Succubus catching him with a Rain of Fire raining above him. Mortal was sent by the looks of it. Yeah, it looks like Mortal was sent. Chaos Bolt avoids it. Trinket to follow. Has him some cheat death. Is going to go for a kidney shot. I think it's just over Demoniac unless he somehow, some way lives in Smoke Bomb just to give himself a bit of cover. 8 seconds until vanishes back up. Maybe we could go for stuns. No, that is rough. Yeah, at that point you just fall so far behind. For Volk though, for Chill Pills on the Shadow Priest, I did not expect for him to be able to get that much damage back to back like that. My god, dude, Shadow Priest is so good. Oh man, I thought I had ended. Oh yeah. Warlock came in after last second. He was loading in for a while. Yeah. I don't know what happened with the Warlock.